Bungie is doing a complete overhaul to Crucible, reverting a ton of airborne effectiveness, reverting the slide nerf that happened a few seasons ago. They're doing some crazy changes highlighted in this week's Twab. We're going to cover all of it in today's video. First, I do a quick overview covering some of the recent changes that have happened, including Grandmasters, Iron Banner, and a lot of other changes. No need to go over that because those videos are already up and live on this YouTube channel. Then they mentioned that you should definitely not ever do an account recovery because people are doing account recoveries and using cheats on your account and therefore getting your account banned. So because you didn't use cheats yourself, you will still get banned. So don't do account recoveries. People are still doing that and getting their accounts banned, and it's a sad thing to see. Then they reference the new trailer that came out. Then they talk about the entire build crafting article that they had yesterday. They wanted to release that yesterday because they didn't want the Twab to be, 100,000 words long, right? And so watch that video if you haven't already. And now we're going to jump into some of the new stuff, okay? We have, obviously, the red border drop rates were increased in the raids. You're going to be able to guild your dredgen faster now. Instead of having to get 30 wins, it's just 50 match completions, which will speed that process up, actually. If you win, you'll get more completions. Say goodbye to blue engrams and blue weapons and armor dropping in Destiny 2. This has been a very long requested thing because right now you play the game, you just get tons of blues to drop. They push stuff out of your postmaster that's actually valuable. They will now be removed from the game after soft cap, so look forward to that change coming to Destiny 2. Rumble is going to be returning with Lightfall as a permanent playlist. They took it out and made it a rotation playlist. Everyone disliked that, everyone that plays Crucible at least, and they're bringing it back now. And then they mentioned Year 3 Catalyst Evolution. They said the Catalyst quest for Year 3 Season Pass exotics, Ariana's Vow, Tommy's Matchbook, etc. will now benefit in the Season Pass boost like other exotic Catalyst quests. Additionally, any seasonal ritual playlist activity will now count towards ritual progress for all Season Pass exotic Catalyst quests. And then you're going to be able to craft the 3 class-specific exotic glaives much easier in the future as well. So look forward to that if you haven't already gotten your 3 exotic glaives taken care of. All right, save the date at Dawn We Raid. The new raid in Lightfall will drop March 10th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so look forward to that. Next up, we're going to talk about matchmaking. And what they've did, I'm going to save you a lot of the TLDR here, but basically they recently added skill-based matchmaking, or loose skill-based matchmaking as they call it, to a variety of playlists inside Crucible, and they wanted to monitor the predicted outcome of what happens when they do that. So basically, to interpret this graph for you, right here is what it was before skill-based matchmaking, which means they had a very high degree of predictability. So basically, if they looked at the statistics of people that were going into the match, they knew that it was going to be a one-sided stomping. And now, post-skill-based matchmaking, it's more like this. It's closer to the 50% mark, which is what they're looking for, which means that it's much less likely for them to predict the outcome, which means that matches are more, in their terms, fair. And so they like this graph, and they're going to continue with the trend of skill-based matchmaking. And this graph right here references their efforts to create fire team-based matchmaking, which is that if you go into Iron Banner with a fire team of 6, you should match another Iron Banner fire team of 6. However, their statistics and their numbers didn't quite add up as good as they wanted it to, so they're going to continue to tweak that algorithm with time because, for example, a highly skilled fire team of 6 versus a fire team that's just trying to have fun will still equal a very lopsided match like we've seen here before. So they're still experimenting with matchmaking in Destiny 2, and they're working on making it better, but they do think that they're on the right path is what they said. Then they talk about Let's Chat Airborne Effectiveness, which is a very hot topic, one that Crucible players get extremely passionate about because they very much dislike the AE, the Airborne Effectiveness system that was introduced in Season 17 of Destiny 2. The reason why they dislike it is because it's oppressive. They used to be able to jump in the air freely a lot and land their shots and use air movement and air gameplay to create a skill ceiling in PvP. What Bungie is going to be doing now is they're actually going to be making it so that primary ammo weapons have as good airborne effectiveness as they did before Season 17 with the Icarus mod on them. So if you want to spec into it even further, you can. So keep that in mind. You could have even crazier airborne effectiveness build if you really want to be in there the whole time. But it will be a big improvement and a big change, especially for primary weapons. And they actually reduced it for special ammo weapons by about 50%. On right here, it says snipers and slug shotguns reduced base airborne accuracy penalty by 50%. And so even special weapons will get an improvement with this. And they said that one side effect of this change is that airborne gameplay on controller should feel better than ever before with moderate investment, since we've reduced the airborne magnetism penalty below what was in the game before AE. So they're thinking that controller players are going to be jumping up in the air and absolutely beaming people. We'll see how crazy the Crucible is after all these airborne effectiveness changes. Comment down below if you think that's going to be a good change. Next up, they talk about weapon types that need to get nerfed in Crucible, and it's important that things get adjusted when they're a little too strong, a little too powerful. SMGs are getting a little bit of a range nerf, so keep that in mind. Pulse rifles are getting a little bit of a stability nerf. Right here we have increased recoil by 20% on mouse and keyboard only. They're also getting a range nerf because pulse rifles have been a little too potent currently in Crucible. It should still be pretty strong though. BXR Battler is getting its own nerf that's losing 2 of its zoom, which will effectively nerf its range. So it's getting, it will get double nerfed by that one, so keep that in mind. And then they also have General reduce the Season 18 aim assist fall off distance buff from 30% to 20%, so keep that in mind. That's with sidearms specifically. And the issues with sidearms were that they buffed them substantially, and pretty much all controller players are using sidearms right now because they're just absolutely beaming people. So now they've nerfed sidearms a little bit as well. The exotic Dead Messenger is getting a nerf because it's a bit oppressive to play against. You shoot the Dead Messenger shot and you can use any sort of ability and run people over. Reduce wave splash damage against players by 35%. The Dead Man's Tail has absolutely been terrorizing the Crucible. It's getting 5 huge nerfs to it, so RIP to the Dead Man's Tail. And that will definitely not be nearly as potent after all of these changes. Perks, the Revoker is extremely potent, especially in comp where there's no light level advantages. So now it only triggers after you miss 2 shots, so you won't be seeing people using Revoker anymore in comp. The future, coming in Lightfall, they talk about their weapon balance pass, adding 3.0 verbs and stuff like that. They're doing more substantial changes to weapon hipfire reticles. They're adding a full auto melee setting, which is crazy. They're adding another set of craftable reprised raid weapons with the original trait, regular season and mid-season balance updates, and more. Titan's Ramparts have been terrorizing the Crucible for a while now. They're getting a harsh nerf. You're not going to get your wall nearly as fast, and people are going to be able to shoot them down faster, so that is going to drastically change Titans in PvP, which is a good thing, right? You shouldn't really have that be the strongest thing for Titans, so RIP to the Titans in the comments. And then we've got patch 6305 is scheduled to be released on January 24th. We're releasing some ability changes that we've been playtesting on Lightfall and to address some outliers in both PvE and PvP. So now what they're going to be doing is reducing the Titan walls. So you got your Titan Barricade, your Rally Barricade, your Thruster. Those are all the times are being reduced or increased rather, I guess. So that way you can't spam them as much. So keep that in mind. Same thing is happening to Hunters. So keep that in mind. A nerf to Hunters dodge and a nerf to Titans and their abilities. Warlocks out there, rejoice. No nerf for you on that one. And then they talk about the Touch of Thunder Storm Grenade. The Titan Storm Grenade is just out of control. It's chasing people around, does crazy damage. It's getting a harsh nerf, so that will definitely be out of the system. And then they also mentioned that with August 2021, with update 530, they did a huge thing where they added when you slide in Destiny 2, you lose stability, you get increased flinch. So a lot less people were sliding in Destiny 2 and Crucible, and they are now removing that penalty, remove stability, incoming flinch, and shotgun pellet spread penalties while sliding. They didn't like it when people would slide through a doorway and shotgun someone, and now after the most recent shotgun changes, they are reverting that. So that is a big thing for Crucible players to rejoice about, because that has been a very big pain point for Crucible players for a while now, they've mentioned. So you've got that one, Airborne Effectiveness, a lot of good stuff, a lot of the really strong stuff getting nerfed overall, which seems to be really good. We got the Lunar New Year stuff. Make sure you use this emblem code and get that going. Oops, let me go back out of here. Quickly get out of here. Go back to the Twab. All right. Oops, let's close that. Oh, there we go. We're back now. All right. Almost completely destroyed everything there for a second. There. Let's get back down here to the emblem code. Here we go. Use that to get that emblem code unlocked. And then we go to the next part here. They made some screensavers for everyone there. If you want those screensavers available for you. Then we got the player support report, going over a list of known issues in Destiny 2, movie of the week. There is a last bit of article here that I want to mention. Artist of the week, some really good stuff made there. And one last thing, they're doing a whole new socials thing. So you need to follow on Twitter, the Destiny 2 team. Bungie.net has their own team, and Reddit has their own new Destiny 2 team channel, where they will be responding to things. This will help them alleviate some of the issues of getting a lot of harassment on social medias to their community managers and stuff. So probably want to follow that. That's a wrap on the Twab though. A lot of big changes. Bungie completely changing the Crucible. Let me know which change you're most excited for, and make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Smash the like button. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.